The build-up to the 2025 Formula One season finale has turned into something straight out of a Hollywood thriller. A championship leader wobbling at the edge, a rival rising from out of nowhere, and a young prodigy, barely 19, now finding himself at the center of a storm he never really asked for or expected. Mercedes' Kimi Antonelli may be the biggest discovery of the 2025 season, but the events after the Qatar Grand Prix have shaken the entire sport. After Red Bull's indirect accusation that Antonelli rigged the result, the young Italian has been subjected to vicious online abuse and hate, including death threats. Red Bull, of course, apologized, but Antonelli is still facing the fury of angry fans the world over. Our next report.
The Formula One season has been nothing short of electric. The driver's title is now waiting for its rightful owner. Ever since the Las Vegas Grand Prix, every team, every strategist and every race engineer has been working overtime to squeeze out that final ounce of performance. And Qatar was the reflection of just how desperate, intense and tactical this title fight has become. But as the championship battle tightens, every point suddenly matters, which is why everyone's eyes, even in Red Bull, shifted to one key result. Mercedes driver Kimi Antonelli finishing P5, a result that led to death threats by Verstappen fans, a position that has become the center of global attention. Cameras from the world feed caught a conversation between Max Verstappen and his race engineer Gianpiero Lambiase. Lambiase suggested that Antonelli had pulled aside deliberately to let Lando Norris through for P4, a claim that spread like wildfire, and Lambiase wasn't the only one. Red Bull's motorsport consultant Helmut Marko reportedly suggested that Antonelli had helped Norris. These comments, just a few words, were enough to ignite a tidal wave of hatred online. Within minutes, Antonelli's social media was flooded. Insults, accusations, and shockingly, even death threats. And suddenly, a 19-year-old rookie was thrown into a storm created not by evidence but by insinuation. But why did this outrage explode so violently? Because Antonelli was sitting comfortably in P4 for most of the race. Norris wasn't even close. Yet in the final laps, Norris slipped past, gaining 2 crucial points heading into the Abu Dhabi finale. 2 points that could be the difference between victory and heartbreak for Max Verstappen. Because this could mean he must finish top 2 in Abu Dhabi to keep his title hopes alive. And suddenly, Antonelli became the villain of the narrative. But was this really intentional? Or just a young driver making a rare mistake? The replays answered that question. They showed Antonelli making a mistake which allowed Norris to pass. Even Red Bull later acknowledged this. Simple human mistake by a teenager in his first full season of Formula One. A teenager who has already delivered 3 podiums. But unfortunately, the internet does not wait for evidence. It jumps. And this time, it jumped on Antonelli with full force. What makes this even more heartbreaking is the timing. Antonelli's rookie season was shaping up to be a fairy tale. Raw talent, fearless moves, exceptional maturity. But overnight, that story turned. Antonelli changed his social media profile picture to black. And now, as the championship heads to Abu Dhabi, the young driver faces the biggest test of his career. Not on track, but off it. The test of blocking out the noise. And if he emerges stronger, he won't just be the future of Mercedes, he will be Formula One's next great story.
They promised glory. They delivered fear. They shape nations. They scar generations. From brutal purges to propaganda machines, from stolen power to violent falls from the throne. Welcome to The Dictator, a series that strips away the myth and then exposes the men behind the tyranny. History remembers their power. Firstpost reveals their truth.